Thank you for joining us today for the readiness event. As you can see behind me, there's nobody sitting in the auditorium. Why? Well, because of COVID-19, we want to make sure everyone stays safe and secure. We're not doing any large events at the Oaks at Denville. However, we are starting to do some smaller events, and you'll be getting emails and mailers and maybe some calls from our sales counselors to be invited to those smaller events. And those are going to be starting in November. But with that said, we thought that the readiness event would probably be best online, being that most of you are at home right now and craving something else to watch besides Netflix. You've probably seen that and enough with the election already, right? We've seen a lot of that. So maybe this is a time to sit back and think about what readiness really means. But before we do that, we're going to give an overview as to what the Oaks at Denville is. It's a continuing care retirement community, but I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to present a video from the Daltons, and they're going to tell you more about what a CCRC is and how it works. And then you're going to see videos from some of my current residents, and they're going to give you an idea as to why they love living here at the Oaks. So sit back, relax. We'll start the readiness event in just a moment. But first, we're going to start with the Daltons and let them tell you all about CCRC living.
Meet the Daltons. Like you, they wanted to create a plan for their future. And like you, they had questions and needed answers. At Spring Point Senior Living, we have solutions. So the Daltons decided to take the next steps in planning their future, and you can too. The Daltons now live in a Spring Point continuing care retirement community. They're enjoying an active lifestyle, new friendships, and the joy of maintenance-free living. And they now have peace of mind knowing that on-site healthcare is available should their needs change in the future. To become a Spring Point resident, you pay a one-time entrance fee that secures your home. From beautifully appointed apartments to spacious cottages, we offer a variety of living options. As a resident, your monthly service fee covers all your living expenses. Spring Point makes it easier to pay your bills with a single monthly check. The monthly service fee covers a variety of services and amenities, including utilities, interior and exterior maintenance, 24-hour on-site security, meals, housekeeping, and transportation services. Plus, you'll enjoy full access to the Community Fitness and Aquatic Center, library, enrichment programs, entertainment, spiritual care programs, and much more. We also offer high-quality on-site healthcare services that cater to the needs of each individual. Our full continuum of care offers increasing levels of care services that you may need as you age. This includes independent living options to home care, assisted living, rehabilitation, skilled nursing, and memory care services. So, what makes Spring Point unique? We are CARF accredited, meaning we exceed the toughest standards for quality senior living. We are a nonprofit organization, so serving our residents is our primary concern. We also have a rich history of inclusion, creating a culture that encourages all our residents to live their best lives, regardless of their differences. Better yet, our complimentary Move Ahead program helps organize your move. Our caring team is here to minimize the work and make your transition easier. Now the Daltons not only have solid plans for the future, but are enjoying the carefree lifestyle of a Spring Point community. And they can now enjoy all of the activities and services that we have to offer. It's time to take control of your future. Contact us today for more information.
Here I have gained and found so many friends, and we are so involved in different things. You can knock on your friend's door and you're always welcome. We go out to dinner once in a while. We go to the movies. We have cocktail parties before dinner. Just going into the dining room and sitting with different people every night. It's just wonderful.
Well, they had like a plan to how to downsize, and see, I don't mind throwing things out. That's to me, that's a good quality, So, I mean, I don't
I'm
save.
lucky I've survived all these years.
I don't save, if I don't have room for something, that's all right. It's out.
But they really worked with us so much because our place sold, once it sold pretty fast. And once it sold, the people wanted us out in 2.5 weeks. It was a cash deal, and they had a cash deal on where they were moving from. So we certainly weren't going to refuse a cash deal, and it was pretty close to what we were asking. So this place wasn't even ready yet, and the furniture wasn't in yet because we weren't expecting to move until a later date. The marketing team did everything they could to help speed this along to get it finished so that we could move in a little sooner than we were supposed to.
Moving here, the one thing I experienced that I never ever expected was the warmth of the people. The socialization that I had been missing since I had retired. We all have that one common feeling of brotherhood, sisterhood, community, and we do a lot of nice things together. We go to the paper mill playhouse, boat trips up to Lake Apatcong, down at the shore. So what more could I want? So what do I like about living here? Everything.
Okay, so we're back. Let me formally introduce myself. My name is Bill Brotman. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing here at the Oaks at Denville. I've been with Spring Point Senior Living, our parent company, for over a dozen years, and I've been a regional director for probably 5 years now with the company. Most of my time is spent at the Oaks at Denville, so I have a really good insight as to how it works. So let's talk a little bit about, now that we have an overview as to what a CCRC is, the I'm Not Ready Yet event. So we're going to go through a PowerPoint presentation and a quick review of what we just saw in the Dalton's video. So if you're moving to a continuing care retirement community, you get increased independence for you, a reduced burden and worry for your adult children, access to on-site healthcare services, emotional security, peace of mind, financial security, opportunities to be part of a community and have social engagement and become a member of a community. So readiness. Today we're going to explore what readiness is. How does one know when they are ready? If you're not ready now, when might you be ready? So our tasks today during the seminar would be review the idea of readiness and change, individual readiness, measuring readiness, the barriers to change, what gets in our way to change and to readiness, action plans to address these barriers, embracing change, how we see change and how we feel about change. So what is readiness? Well, the dictionary says readiness is the state of being fully prepared for something. For example, prepared, primed, on standby, on full alert. It's a willingness to do something. For example, there's a keenness, a promptness, a quickness to get those things done, to be ready. A process, moving through stages to make a change. So today we're going to be exploring the state of readiness. There's an awareness of the need and a desire to make a change. There are triggers. Those can be social, health-related, financial, or even environmental changes. Change creates discomfort. So when we hear, I'm not ready yet, it's a block. I'm not ready to be this uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. We need support to make the change. And the support we're talking about are people like our family and our friends, trusted professionals. There's the belief that the benefits will outweigh the cost of making a change. There's a belief that we can be in charge of our lives, a desire to be ahead of the game. We're planners. We want to be in control. The journey to readiness, getting ready to make this change and the benefits of taking actions. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be moving towards making a change, having a greater sense of control over one's personal world, feeling less vulnerable and more powerful in the face of change. I want you to be proactive, not reactive. So if you look at these two people sitting at a desk, one is in control. I control my destiny. That's an internal feeling. The other person has external feeling. They control my destiny. What's a scenario like that? Well, Let's say somebody is thinking about moving to a CCRC. They're in control. They're choosing to do this. They're doing the research, as opposed to somebody who maybe had a recent fall and can no longer live on their own. And the adult child comes in and says, Mom or Dad, we think it's best for you to make a move to, hypothetically, an assisted living community. Well, even though that may be the right move for that senior at that time, very uncomfortable because they're not in control. Their family member is in control. And I don't think any of us like being out of control. We want to have control of our future and our future healthcare. So the 5 steps to becoming ready to change. There's something called pre-contemplation. That means I'm uninterested. I'm unwilling to even hear what you have to say. I don't want to make a change. I don't want to hear it. That's pre-contemplation. Contemplation, somebody's opening up, considering a change. They're weighing the benefits and the cost. Then there's the preparation. Okay, I'm deciding and preparing to make that change. Then there's the action step. I'm committed to making a change. I'm going to make those steps that are needed to commit to making that change. There's the maintenance. That's sticking to the decision over time. That's during the transition period. This is a chart that really shows how it works. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Maintenance is the toughest one. Think about when you first bought a home. When you first bought a home, it seemed like it was all the money in the world. You knew it was the right idea and the right concept to own your own home. It's the American dream. But then when you went home after putting a deposit, you said, what are we doing? This is all the money in the world. And we call that cold feet. So maintenance is maintaining the action step, continuing to go forward. Now, you'll see to the right on that chart, there's an arrow with a relapse. Why? Because sometimes people get nervous and say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting the brakes on. It's common, but most people will think through it and they'll talk through it with a trusted advisor or their family member to say, am I making the right move and the right decision? So getting ready to make a change like this, such as a big move to a CCRC, you have to be aware of the reasons that you're doing it. Why are you making this change? You have to weigh the cost and the benefit of making the change. For example, the cost of staying home with home care versus a continuing care retirement community where you have social engagement versus living alone. Now, is it for everyone? No. Like, for example, if someone's a truck driver, they may want to live the rest of their life alone because they've spent most of their life on the road alone. That was their career. But for most of us, that's not how it is. We are social beings. You have to discuss this, as I mentioned earlier, with your family and important friends. Hey, I need a sounding board. This is what I'm thinking of doing. I want to bounce it off here. What do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? The next step would be arranging one's estate, consulting with your financial advisors or an attorney. You have to be part of the selection process. Where is my next move? Where am I moving to next? I have to visit various communities. I have to research. It's a decision-making process. Once I find where I'm moving and the apartment that I want, I have to then talk to a real estate consultant or a real estate agent, say, hey, I have to put my house on the market. What do I have to do, especially during the COVID virus, to make sure I get top dollar for my home and get it sold? Well, one of the steps might be you have to talk to a downsizer. You have to declutter to get this home sold. And that's a big process, but we have the people that will help you do that. So the barriers to readiness, or what do I mean when I say I'm not ready yet? What we really mean is I don't like change. Change makes me feel uncomfortable. Hard as change is now, it gets much more difficult as we get older. Change equals fear of the unknown. It's an anxiety. It's a fear of loss. Well, I've lived in this house all my life and now I'm going to move out of it. I'm nervous about it. I'm scared about it. It may be the best move for you because maybe there's stairs in the house or whatever. Or maybe I'm missing socialization, so I really need to be in a continuing care retirement community. But there's still that anxiety and fear because you've never done it before. Change is uncomfortable. It's kind of like wearing a blindfold. Let's read what this says. The personal change process. You have your current situation, and it takes courage to release the familiar and seemingly secure to embrace the new. But there is no real security in what is no longer meaningful. What does that statement really mean from Alan Cohen? Well, what it means is it takes courage to release the familiar. like your home. You've been living in it for many years, to embrace a new home that you've never moved to. So that's courageous. But there's no real security in what is no longer meaningful. You love your home, but there's stairs to the basement. Maybe there's a bedroom not on the main floor and you have to go upstairs. Maybe there's a bathtub to get into the shower, which is dangerous. The number one cause of death after the age of 80 is falling. So stairs and bathtubs, you want to get rid of those. So they're no longer meaningful to you. That's what this statement is saying to you. So how do we take charge of a change? For 3 steps. The first step, redefine change in a positive, affirming process. Continuing opportunity to evolve. Emphasize the chance to take change and get in front of those changes. Change to create an advantage and change to minimize risk, like we said with stairs. Identify the barriers and obstacles. What's stopping you from making this change? Downsize. Manage the overwhelming job. Again, we have people that will help you with that. Fear of leaving your home. It's logical and normal. Fear of the unknown, moving to a place you've never lived before. The third step is create an action plan. Meet with your downsizers to help declutter. Meet with your real estate agent to decide what's the best way to sell the home. Do I need a fresh coat of paint, or do I just leave it? Do I have to renovate this bathroom and kitchen? More often times than not, the realtor says, no, you don't have to do that. We're just going to price it accordingly. Meet the people at the new community where you're thinking of moving. Make successive visits to that community. Try the food, participate in daily activities. And my favorite, try a free 3-day guest stay. It is not a hotel stay. But think about buying a car. When you bought a car, didn't you test drive it? Well, this might be the most important test drive of your life. Before you move somewhere, go there for 3 or 4 days. Try it out. Kick the tires. Change is a process. It is not an event. Where are you in this change process? What's your state of readiness? You assess your readiness by evaluating these unique opportunities in front of you. The result is not a simple yes and no. It's a map of a potential of making a change. Use the readiness assessment ruler. It's our tool for assessing your readiness for change. We'll send it to you free of charge. Discuss your results and make your plan. So with all that said, you think you're ready now? Are you ready? What does the assessment tool look like, the readiness ruler? Well, these are some of the questions you're going to see on it. There's 36 questions. Do I want less home maintenance? Do I want to feel more secure and safe? Do I want to cook less but eat better? Do I want transportation available to me? Do I want more socialization? Do I want to be more physically active? Do I want to be more mentally active? These are all really important questions. So if you'd like to receive the readiness ruler, we've created it. It's 36 questions that will really help you to see where you are in this process. Again, it's a process. It's not an event. What you'll do is you'll give me your email, and my email, if you need this assessment tool, is wbrotman@springpointsl.org. It's just like it's on the PowerPoint sheet in front of you. And I'll email you the form, and we're going to review it. You'll get a call from myself or one of our sales counselors. We'll give you a private call, and we'll talk about where you are in the process, what the blocks are, what we have to overcome to make this happen. So that's basically how it works. So with that said, I hope you found this seminar enlightening. It really shines a light on what readiness is, because we all say, I'm not ready yet. Well, hopefully you have a better feel for what you're not ready for. Maybe it's, I'm not ready to sell my house. I'm not ready for downsizing. I don't know if I will fit into a community. Those are all normal concerns. But sometimes we'll hear readiness as, or I'm not ready as a block. I'm not ready. I can't face this next step. But it's, how do you eat an elephant? One step at a time. It's a process, not an event. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. Again, you could always reach out and give me a call at 973-664-3725 or send me an email at wbrotman@springpointsl.org. Hopefully you found this informative, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. thanks again for your time. We really appreciate you getting together with us today.